Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another reaction video, and today I will be checking out a new song from The Devil Wears Prada. It is called Time, taken from their upcoming album Color Decay, which will be out on September 16th. These new singles I have been loving. They have gotten better with each release. I feel Salt has been my favorite. I've done a decent amount of the Devil Wears Prada videos on the channel now, so I've talked about how I've been listening to this band for a very long time. I feel their sound has been evolving extremely well, thinking back to how long I've been a fan of them, what my music taste was like back then, what it's like now, and the fact that they're still so high up on my rotation. Although, you know, there was some time in between where they weren't. These new singles have been some of my favorite material from them. So I'm going to stop talking now. All of their social media and the video I'll be reacting to in the description. We are going to get straight into it.
There's something I can't share, it's just too hard to explain. I'm barely holding on, it happens every day. Like a desperate dream that never goes away. I'm barely holding on, I'm lost in the wake.
The way that led off is neat.
Shifts like a glacier. It's the opposites that I can't accept. This collision, certain death. There's something I can't share, it's just too hard to explain. I'm barely holding on, it happens every day.
That is
like
good.
A desperate dream that never goes away. I'm barely holding on, I'm lost in the wake. What's to be done about this fraction? Putting habits again. I've been struck by the
I
lightning.
love that.
I vanish, gone with the glacier. 'Cause it's the opposites that I can't accept. This collision, certain death. There's something I can't share, it's just too hard to explain. I'm barely holding on, it happens every day. Like a desperate dream that never goes away. I'm barely holding on, I'm lost in the wake. Time's moving like lightning. Time shifts like a glacier.
The Devil Wears Prada, Time. Let's discuss. As I mentioned, and I'm probably not alone in this either, I've been listening to this band for a very long time, so to be going into new releases and being surprised, for me this feels like they have just matured so well, not only like with their audience to where people who like myself listened to them too many years ago and in such a different place in your life sort of, and as your taste evolves. And I believe I even talked about this in maybe like the first or second single video that came out for them, but to be able to like have my taste change so much over that time and then have them put out stuff that's like has me thinking that this will very much be an album that goes into my top 5. Undoubtedly, these singles have been some of my favorite material from their entire discography, which there is a lot of really good stuff in there, some nostalgic stuff for me that I like to place newer songs above stuff that I have placed some of these singles over. Salt specifically, I know that a lot of people prefer Sacrifice or Watchtower. Salt has, I'm not sure if it's like recency bias or what, but I'll find out obviously as time goes on and I listen to Time more and such, because this one sticks out to me just as much as all of the others have, and it's really hard for me to put it against Salt, because when I read them saying like this is the heaviest track off the album or the heaviest single, something like that, I can't remember exactly what they mentioned. I think I saw it on Instagram or something like that. But when I saw that, I was like, what I've been enjoying has been sort of the like more melodic stuff, the choruses and such. And this song, even though it's certainly heavy, it had a totally different presentation, I guess, on heavy than what I had been expecting. The song structure itself was very neat. It opens up with that chorus, it ends with it, and the difference between like the times in which you hear that chorus, like the ending where that chorus sort of has, I guess, how do I want to, I hate to jump to like the ending of the song, but just because of the structure and how the song starts out, as well as why I'm mentioning this in the beginning of like my, or like the beginning of my breakdown of the song, but having that space before the last chorus too, where I was sort of expecting like this big heavy breakdown, because I had seen them say like this is like one of the it's the heaviest single something, I wish I could remember, but so I was sort of expecting like this big old breakdown, huge with like bass drop and such, but the use of synth, the opening up at that part where I expected it to go heavier, just a lot of different little details that add up to something that's really big, I feel, in their sound. But like as soon as it dropped in with that riff, the heaviness is certainly there, but it's just dispersed in a much different manner. It's not like, it doesn't need to be in your face sort of heavy. And a lot of what I'm digging about these songs are the things in between, I guess, like straightforward heaviness and what the Devil Wears Prada has been doing, which is interesting too, because in their discography, like their older stuff definitely have a lot of in-your-face heavy type of stuff like we're talking. So when we're talking about bands maturing and bands, you know, changing, while still definitely, like when you look at Z2 and such, they've kept true to their sound while still, like, Mike's vocals are absolutely insane. They're doing different stuff for their choruses now that I would say some of the stuff with the choruses is really what brings these up so much for me, but it's really like a combination. It's a lot of moving parts. It's just, I love what they're doing. This is definitely the most tailored to my style that they've ever been, like in the same time too, because I loved their heavier stuff. I could sit here and name songs and such, and seeing them live was a ton of fun on Warped and such, you know, big flags and such flying. It was a ton of fun, but now it's a very different feel, I guess. I won't go too much into that, but for going into this expecting sort of in-your-face type of heavy, which was obviously my bad, I am so stoked with this, and this will go directly on repeat for me, because not only does it have like what I'm talking about with that, as soon as that riff kicks in, because that's the chorus as well. Like I said, it opens up with the chorus, but it's completely different from what you're getting on that last time. That's a really good example. Like that intro riff, when the song drops, the chorus starts in the beginning, compared to as the song is outroing, and it's more of like a spoken, much less emotional. And obviously you get more throughout the song. The emotion coming from Mike too, and the vocals, the synth, like I was mentioning, the synth had a huge part for me. The plays there feel like almost the replacement for that in-your-face heavy sort of sound, and I much prefer, like, you know, what I was talking about with the heaviness being dispersed and the use of the synth in there where it opens up and such. I think I talked a couple, or at least once had mentioned, there were a few times where it, like, in the transition, it really, like, some of the instrumentals sort of strip back, and it's this, and it opens up. And yeah, I love that, and was not expecting it going into what they were saying was like a heavy track. So though it's heavy in a much different context than I expected, and in a great way, I mean that. So those are my thoughts after hearing the song for the first time. I'm loving what they're doing, expecting this album for certain to be at the top of my charts. Like I've mentioned in a few of my videos, Fit for an Autopsy has been very solid in my #1 spot. I have a few others in my top 5 that are outstanding, but nothing has come up to sort of battle it out for the top spot with Fit for an Autopsy yet. The Devil Wears Prada, 156 Silence, those are 2 bands right now that have announced albums that I feel like could do it, and that's really it. But I am 100% expecting this, especially if these singles are an indicator to what the full album will be like. Like, I can't even imagine if these singles aren't some of the best songs on the album. That would just be something totally different. So we'll see. I will, of course, be making a video or doing a stream for this album when it comes out. Let me know what you thought in the comments. All of the Devil Wears Prada's social media and the music video for Time that I reacted to, which I really enjoyed, by the way, can be found in the description of this video. Along with that, you can find my link tree, which is always there. I always talk about the invite for the Discord server, where we have a lot of music-related conversation, a lot of conversation unrelated to music as well, just sort of a lot going on in there. So if you're interested in coming to join, check the community out. That will be there, as well as my Instagram profile link, where I post all music-related content, my never-ending merch collection, vinyl, sweatshirts, t-shirts, flags. I have a never-ending collection, so I post some of that. If I've been to a show recently and I have pictures or videos to share from the show, I'll post that. I post a chart every Friday of what I've listened to the most over the course of the week, sometimes on my story about new videos, stuff like that. My handle on there is the same as my YouTube channel. It is Rachel Reacts, but again, if you're interested in following me, it will be in that link in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.